What's up, guys? So I'm doing my brakes today on my 2009 BMW 328. I figured I'd just give a quick video to help everybody who's never done this before or just needs a quick tutorial. So here's a quick view of the tools that you'll be needing. Just to take off the wheels, BMW uses the number 17 socket. You'll need channel locks, flathead, a number 6 and a number 7 millimeter Allen keys. I'll use this, it just helps with leverage. For the front brakes, you'll need a number 17 socket, and then for the rear, a 5/8, or you can use a wrench. It doesn't really matter, but the socket is definitely a lifesaver. This thing helps a lot. And then this just helps. This isn't needed, but obviously it's going to help you take off those old rusted bolts, because it is a pain in the ass to get some of these off sometimes. For taking off the wheels, this gun really helps. It'll save a lot of time. Again, it's just a 17 socket. So far this car's been good to me, taking off all the other wheels. As I say that, this one's gonna be a pain in the ass. All right, guys, so we got the wheel off. First step, you're gonna be taking off this clip right here with the flathead. I recommend getting new clips, just ordering 4 new ones, because they're cheap and it'll save a headache, because you will have to reuse this if you don't order more. And when you pry this off, it can bend in a weird way to where it won't want to go back. All right, so I got the clip off. Now, next step, you have 2 little rubber things. One is going to be right here. Use a flathead to kind of pry this thing off. That's one. The other one, right back there. It's the same thing. It's just a little bit below it. You can peel them off, but flathead helps. Make sure you save these, because you do want to put them back on. All right, so you got the rubber things off. Now, inside of those rubber things, you have a 7 millimeter screw. That is what 7 millimeter Allen key is for. I'm gonna put that guy in there. Make sure it's in there good. You don't want to strip nothing. Okay. Oh, hit my phone, but I got it. All right, this guy's coming out. Just gotta pull him out. Takes a little finesse. You're gonna have 2 of these. So that's the first one on the top. All right, got that cranked. This thing always ends up cutting me. It really sucks having to do this sometimes. We like to save money and do things ourselves, and that's a good skill to learn. But when you're 4 hours deep because something won't unscrew, you get kind of frustrated. That's just what happens. This is the one. This is the one. All right, that bitch out. This is where you're gonna want a bucket, because we're about to take off this caliper and you don't want to stress the line. So I like to rest that on there so nothing's getting damaged, because as you can see, this is connected to the line, and if it's hanging, it will probably pop or stretch it out. Take out one of the old things. It's a little clip in there. This is what you're gonna compress with the channel locks. I'll show you that in a second. But next step, we are going to take out 2 bolts. I'm trying to find them. Number 1 and number 2. And this is going to be the 5/8 in the back. The rears, both rears are 5/8. If you do the front brakes, it's going to be the 17 millimeter socket. I highly recommend spraying these bolts down, because they'll be a pain. Just let that soak for about a minute or something, 30 seconds if you're impatient. And then we're gonna take this guy, 5/8. It's just like that. And it's time to bust your knuckles. All right, here we we go. I'm just unscrewing the last bolt. Already got it loose. Got to just take this last guy out. Both of those out. Now we can finally take off this guy so that we can take the rotor off. This is the 6mm. Let that soak for a minute. Again, if you're doing the rear, you want to take off the handbrake. If you pull the emergency handbrake, you want to let that down. You can have it on in the front brakes, but for the rear, you have to have it off just to take off this rotor. Now we can pull off the rotor. All right, so that's everything you're taking off the car. Now, from this point on, you're doing everything in reverse order, essentially. All right, we're gonna put on the new rotor. We're gonna compress this all the way back. It moves. So usually use these in the biggest setting you have. You can see it going back, and then it stops flush. So now we can put in the new brake pads. So with your new brake pads, you want to use, usually it comes with like a, I don't even know what this is. Put it on your brake pads. Put it on the back side. It's just to prevent the squeakiness and I don't know, erosion or some shit. All right, time to put caliper back on place. So you're just gonna line it back up underneath so that these two holes can line up with these two, and then you're gonna put the bolt through that. All right, so I got both of the bolts in. Now you're just gonna crank it down. All right, so you pop that guy in. There's just 3 clips and they both spring into here. Just an easy kind of pop clip on. Now we're gonna put him in the position where you want these clipping onto here, essentially. Not clipping, but they're just gonna be resting on here. And then these 2 screws, the 7mm, they're gonna go back in. Slide this guy on there. Essentially, you're gonna take the 2 7mm, put them back in here, just hand start it and start screwing it on. All right, so I just put on the last 2 bolts of the 7mm. Now you're just gonna put the 2 rubber caps back on. And last but not least, this clip that I was telling you about in the beginning, you're gonna have to put this back on. Just struggle. Well, there you have it. You just did your rotors and your brake pads. So now you got a fresh new set of brakes. Here's a little bonus to the video. I'm doing a stud conversion kit. Any BMW owner needs this. It just saves you so much time if you're working on your car. To remove the wheels, you're essentially putting studs in here so that you don't have to use these things, because those are a pain in the ass, and this way you can just slide your wheel on and off. Thread locker, you can get the blue or red. Red is stronger, blue is medium. Just put a little bit on there, and then simply just twist these on, and you're just gonna twist that on there good. This is a must for me. Anytime you put on the wheels, you want to add this stuff to your studs. So this is the final product. Just put enough, you don't got to overload it. Also, you want to add some around the hub, because sometimes the wheel can get kind of stuck on to here, like you saw me trying to struggle earlier to pull off the wheel. So just put some around that ring. And yeah, that's really all you gotta do. Now, putting the wheels on and off are so much easier. All right, so just a pro tip for anybody who either just got a BMW or has had a BMW and you work on your car. FCP Euro, if you don't already know, they're the place to go, because all these brakes I just did were essentially free, because you can return all the parts that you used in the past and you get the money back for it. Print the label of this stuff. I mean, their website explains it, but I send this back and then I get store credit. So I just got $500 back into my FCP Euro account, essentially to spend on anything I want, whether it's brakes, oil, whatever. So you can do this with oil too. That's what I always do on my oil changes. You just have to pay shipping, which $20 for $500 is a pretty good deal. All right, so all brakes are done. Overall, it's a fairly easy process. It just takes some patience. If you're doing all four, it should take between 2 to 4 hours. If you're doing just two, it's 1 to 2 hours. All right, so that's the end of the video. This is my first time recording one of these. It's kind of hard doing it by myself. So in the future, just let me know what I can do to make better quality. Obviously, this is just some quick little video, but yeah, if this helped you, just comment and maybe like the video or something. And yeah, subscribe. We post car videos and all that. So thank you.